Hey guys, it's Let's Face It.
My name is Shreya and I'm 16 years old.
I'm Priyanshi, I'm also 16 years old.
And today we're talking about culture. We've got our samosas with us. Priyanshi's got some chai.
We're gonna pretend like I didn't already eat half of the samosa.
Wait, that's how you know we're serious. That's how you know we're serious today. Wait, yeah.
Okay, so I think with regards to culture, we're not just focusing on being Indian, but rather the context of accessing our Indian culture in another country entirely. So, Shreya, I heard that over the holidays you went to your hometown. How was it?
I did. Okay. For context, my hometown is Karakudi. I'll put the name up right here. Karakudi.
Search it up.
Search it up. So my dad is from there. My mom is born in Singapore. She's first gen. So my dad is... she's second gen. My dad is first gen. So whenever we go there, we stay with our grandparents. It's always a lovely time. But I will say, usually when I go, I'm really bored. Because it's mostly sitting around, waiting for them to finish cooking some really, really tasty food. Like, I had so many sweets, so many dosas. Like, I had so much food. But I'll never really do anything other than that. But this year, my cousin came with us. So I had a really fun time. And I don't know, I feel like I had the opportunity to really immerse myself in Karakudi and see all of its beauty because my cousin was there. And he himself, whenever he goes alone, because he doesn't have any siblings, whenever he goes alone, he takes the opportunity to really put himself through what is Karakudi, what can I do here? How can I learn more about where I'm from? But then when me and my sister go, it's less of that and more of we're spending time with our family. But I think that's just the way we were raised or the things that we did in Karakudi. So when I went, I really tried to speak Tamil this time. Wait, I'm really not fluent in my mother tongue. And yes, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing.
No.
It's not embarrassing.
Not embarrassing.
I'm learning.
I don't know anybody that's genuinely good at them.
Yeah. Okay, no, I do.
Okay.
Okay, but it's minority of people. Okay? Fair enough.
Most people.
So, I don't know, I really fell in love with my hometown when I went. And it was really, really sad to part with my family this year, which was really, really unfamiliar for me because I never really felt oh wow, they're living a few thousand kilometers away from me, but I can still call them up and I can still talk to them. I've never really felt such a big loss. So it felt when I was leaving, I was losing my culture because I never felt so Tamil until I went to Karakudi this year. Karakudi.
Do you usually go to Karakudi?
I do. Whenever I go to India, I go there or I go to Chennai. But when I go to Karakudi, we take the flight from Chennai and then we drive 6 hours. But this year, a lot more people have found out about Karakudi, I guess. So now they're building an airport really, really close. And I saw a lot of foreigners, a lot. And I don't usually see that. So I don't know, the whole trip was very eye-opening to me. And when I'm coming back to Singapore, that whole culture shock, because just for 2 weeks, I felt so immersed in the beauty of India.
Yeah.
And when I come back, it's so different. I'm is this where I've really been? Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I got the same feeling. In December, I went to Orissa. Another niche place. We write it down, search it up. It's in the east next to Calcutta, slightly less niche of a place. I had the same feeling of this whiplash coming back from India to Singapore, where Singapore just felt so neat. Okay, not in the way where it's India's dirty. But I mean that India, it's chaotic. The roads, cars are honking at you everywhere. People are jaywalking everywhere. There's at least in Orissa, there's not, it's a city, but there's not any, there's no pedestrian crossings or anything. So people just cross the road with holding hands with whoever they're with and saying prayers.
But I love that though.
But I love it. And street food everywhere, and the street food is so delicious, and you can really access any food that you want. You can get it within 5 minutes for such a cheap price. And all you have to do is either order online to like Swiggy, Zomato, like all of these services have gotten so like fast and convenient. Or you just have to like step outside and the nearest like, I'm trying to remember the English word for it. The nearest shop will be there for you. Me and my mom were talking about that, and we were talking about how it's so surreal how India is, we see it to be so chaotic because we stay in Singapore, but there's meaning in this chaos. Like it's a chaos that everybody understands. Like if chaos was a language, this is something that everybody is fluent in. And it like you are not removed from this chaos either. Like you are just immediately involved in it. So you just become a part of the chaos. So then coming back to Singapore where everything is already so organized for you, rather than having having so much chaos and mess and then needing to make meaning out of it. There's a lot less of a feeling of agency in that because it's not like I'm making meaning out of anything because the meaning was already made for me. That's how Singapore feels to me when I like come back from India.
Wait, the whole phrase like if chaos was a language is wow, like it struck my heart. I completely resonate with that. Like coming to Singapore, everybody's like putting in their earphones and like there's no eye contact. Like there's no like, oh hi, how are you? But when I went to India, like just walking simply on the road, someone recognizes you and suddenly you're a family friend. Suddenly you're a distant cousin. It's like, do I know you?
But then no matter what, you become a part of that community there. Like that community is just right there whether you choose to be in it or not.
Exactly. Oh, I love that about India though.
And like what you mentioned about feeling that loss when you left, I got that exact same feeling. So usually when I leave, I don't actually have that. I don't feel as deeply about it. But I think this time I also tried to speak more Odia on my own. I found that it genuinely allowed me to connect with my grandparents a lot more. And that like it allowed me to engage with a lot more like conversations that we had. I mean, this year, I think my mother and I both realized, so we visit with my maternal side. So my mother and I both realized like that my grandmother's health is like deteriorating and so like you get that awareness each year you go. You realize that they're getting older. You don't realize it because you're not with them every day, but then every time you meet them, the wrinkles in their face are a little deeper, or like they have like a new health issue there and you need to take them to the doctor. I think that whole experience of like becoming so much more involved in my grandparents' like well-being and having that realization that these people are getting older really made me cherish my time with them because I only get to see them once a year.
Yeah.
So whenever I could speak Odia, like have a conversation with them, I tried to. And I think that's what matters the most.
Yeah.
And one thing that really struck me was that when we were getting in the car to go to the airport, for like this is the first time it's ever happened, at least from my memory, my grandmother cried.
Oh my god.
And she's never done that. She's like my mom in that she's the type of person who like, if you cry about something really silly, she'll be like, what are you crying for? But this woman who's usually so like, she's not sentimental in that sense. Like she's a very practical woman. And then so she was crying about how we were like leaving her again to go to Singapore and that we would only see her next year. And I think that's something that language really does to you. Like when you really, it's not just a matter of like understanding the language as a piece of history in your culture. So like something that you should know, but it's something that allows you to really communicate with the people around you. Like you genuinely connect with the people around you. And I would say that in that sense, even though English is my first language, at the end of the day, Odia is my mother tongue. It shouldn't be a situation where I'm prioritizing one over the other.
I completely agree. Okay, so basically in Tamil, there's not really a word for love. Because you can't really like the word for love is kadal, but then kadal is usually used between a romantic relationship. So when you're saying like I love you to your family members, it's usually said in like the English translation or come back soon or take care of your health, like these little phrases
like equivalents
to I love you. One thing that really struck my dad, and I've never seen that man cry. I've never seen my dad cry is when his dad, which is my grandfather, told him like Patukonga, like take care of your health. And then he just broke down. And I think those, like, if you just don't get it, like, we don't get that language.
The significance of it.
Like, yeah, it's gone.
It doesn't land.
But then when you know Tamil, like, it hits so hard. So when my grandfather said this to me this year, I was like, oh, shit, I can't do this shit, bro. Don't say this to me right now. Like, oh my god, I never, ever, ever cry when I come back. But I really want to like not put myself in more like interesting scenarios where I have to like learn mother tongue because it really like gets me going. And so when I do oral in school, that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's not interesting. Okay, I do not need to know.
They're not teaching me how to say I love you.
Oh, exactly. Wait, yeah, and they're teaching me about like health and well-being. Okay, who the shit cares? Okay, I want to know how to speak to my grandpa and grandma who's like not gonna see me in 1 year. You know, yeah, it's difficult.
But other than like, what type of place is Karakudi? Like, I've never, like, personally, until like you talked about it, I never heard of it before. Yeah.
It's in the south, so it's still like near Chennai, even though it's 6 hours by drive. It's still near Chennai. It's in the south, but Karakudi is very. Okay, I don't know how to phrase this any other way. It's underdeveloped. Like there's only a few shops that you really know, and it's near more of the countryside. Like there's a lot of farmers, there's a lot of grass, a lot of cows, a lot of land, a lot of temples.
Cows!
I love the cow. So there's this one cow that comes to our house and we feed it bananas every single year. We know exactly. We call him, I don't know what we call him. We call him some Tamil name, Surya. We call him, which means sun. And also, okay, wait, no, I'm going too much into it. Like, you said east, right?
Yeah. So, Odisha is, okay. Most people know where West Bengal is. Like, that's where Calcutta is. That's like far east. Odisha is it's like literally at the, like, on the edge of Calcutta. But so it's a separate state. So, from Odisha, both my parents are from there. My mom is from the city, Bhubaneswar. So that's where we go when we stay with my mom's family. And my dad's brother's family also stays there. So all my cousins stay there as well. But my dad was originally from Jagatsinghpur, which is a village that's also in Odisha. So for about a year or so, like last year and the year before that, my dad took a lot of time and like invested a lot in repairing his village house, it's a really nice property. And he was so resolute to just repairing it because the walls were getting moldy. Some of the tap water wasn't like working properly and everything like that. It's completely new now. I used to dread going there. We went there this year. We stayed there for 3 days. I wanted to stay there for a whole week. It was such a nice feeling. And there's that extra layer of knowing that this is like my family's hard work and we get to enjoy it. So then that was like a really nice touch to the whole vacation of it. And I find myself thinking that like I really wish that more people could understand that there's beyond the stereotypical like peace that comes with staying in the village or like the countryside, there's so much more like meaning and depth that comes with like staying in a more like rural area and like how much more you connect with the people. I was watching this show called Gullak. Everybody go watch it. It's Gullak.
Yeah, I'll go watch
and it's basically about this middle class family, and then literally every single episode just follows their struggle. So it's like the son as he gets to his school and he tries to crack his board exams, the older son trying to get a job, and then the parents trying to pay off their loans. So it's like very generic issues that middle class families would have, but a lot of people don't actually know about these things because a lot of times when we look at Indian representation, we're looking at Bollywood movies, which show such lavish lives. And they don't show that side of India where it's like a middle class family.
Exactly.
So then you always see two extremes of representation. So you either see like the really poor, like slum part of India, or you see the very lavish Mumbai Delhiite part of India as well. But you never see that in between of like middle class families trying to get by, get through life.
Exactly.
And that was the type of upbringing that like my mom and my dad had. So when we were watching it all together, they really enjoyed the show because they were just talking about how like, oh yeah, the mother in the show really reminds me of my grandmother. Like they act the same way, like the way they nag.
That's so nice.
Yeah, so that's why I was just thinking that representation is actually so important, like even for me. And I just can't imagine how it would be for people that are non-Indian as well to get in touch with our culture on like deeper levels other than just knowing what Diwali is.
Now that you're talking about shows and stuff, one show that I really liked was Paava Kadaigal. And so in a lot of Tamil shows, South Indian shows, right, they really show this lavish lifestyle. It's all about love. You guys
very dramatic.
So dramatic. But then they never really touch on the discrimination Indian people face in their own country with colorism and stuff. And so in Paava Kadaigal, this man, he came out as gay, but then he was shunned from his country. And then, like, it was a really, really, really sad story. And I feel like people think India is just, everybody's either all poor or all rich.
Or all North Indian.
Or all North,
like, or all South Indian. Like,
don't even get me started. Oh my god. We're all society, like, everybody is living in a society. Yes, the society is compromises of different people, of different colors, of different backgrounds, sure. But there are always these little, like, similarities. I mean, duh, there are LGBTQ plus people who live in India, guys. Like, dead ass. But nobody really clocks that. Like, when you say, oh yeah, like, when I went to India, my uncle is gay. Your uncle's gay? There's gay people in India? This kind of shit is so stupid. Like, people take these small comedic popular movies like Three Idiots and run with it. Like, that's all I know about India.
Like, people's interpretation of India is so reduced. And different people have different reductions of India.
Yeah.
So then it just gets really hard to put together a full picture of it.
Exactly. Like,
because even for myself, it's like my engagement with India is still limited to what I've seen for myself. So like my hometown, and also like things that I see in shows and movies. So for example, like other than Bangalore and Chennai, I don't know like the south of India. And I think most people, I got the chance to like visit Darjeeling the last year, but a lot of people don't realize like the snowy parts of India, like Northeast India. They don't know how different the culture is there than it is in East India, and how that's different from UP, and how that's different from West. Like, it's truly such a variety all over that it's impossible to reduce India to anything, actually. And I think the problem isn't a matter of people not knowing the full picture, because frankly speaking, I think that's impossible, actually. Like, it's such a vast place, it's low-key impossible to know the entire scenery of India. But I think it's being open with engaging with new elements of India. I think that's something that a lot of people need to work on, including like producers and directors. I feel like they have a strong responsibility to be representing their own culture beyond what has been done before. Exactly. I truly think so.
Exactly. When I was younger, the type of shit I was growing up on was like the main heroine always light skinned. Always. So I grew up thinking, wow, I'm South Indian, but damn, I don't look like that. Why don't I look like that? And so I thought that, I'm from like this other part of India. So this part of India is less meaningful or like less pretty, significant because I don't...
It's less aesthetic.
Exactly. Why must we reduce a culture to something that must be perceived as beautiful to everybody because these people are light skinned? By the way, the heroine for like that movie, she was freaking white, okay? She was not even Indian. And they dubbed everything she said, like, she was just mouthing stuff. They dubbed it all in Tamil, and there was someone else speaking in Tamil. She never spoke Tamil.
And I do think that says a lot about India's obsession with fair skin, to the point of, like, casting white actors and actresses. I think, obviously, Indians look different, like, from each other, no matter what place you come from. But the obsession with Indian companies to represent themselves using that fair skin says a lot about how we perceive dark skin. And I really think it's so built in our culture. Like, when I was so young, I had people saying that, like, why are you so... I had people ask me why I'm so tan. And that made no sense to me because it's like, well, first of all, it was because I went swimming. But, like, second of all, it's like they were implying that it was a bad thing.
Oh my god. Every single time I go to India, legit one, like, I have a relative who's darker skinned, right? Every time she's like, my grandma's like, have you washed your face? You need to use like a good cleanser to wash your face. Why is it that darker skinned people are perceived to be dirty? Yeah. Like, what's the problem?
It makes, like, inside India and out of India too.
Like, in Singapore, we're discriminated for being brown, and then in India, we're discriminated for being more brown than you. Hello, can we get a break?
Do you realize that I'm not the enemy?
We are the same!
This is not the enemy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how ugly somebody is, or like, it doesn't matter how somebody looks. You still treat them with respect. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand.
My god!
I'm not asking you to think I'm pretty. I'm asking you to respect me no matter what. And that's something that people need to learn. And I think colorism sets a lot of Indians back by so much. And I think it's a colonial mindset.
Yeah.
And it sets Indians back a lot because then
So
we start turning on each other and we start forming judgments about each other. And it really dilutes that whole essence of like acceptance that we could be having. And some people claim that they don't have that belief.
Yeah, makes sense.
But sometimes it shows in their habits. So for example, it's like, oh, use this face wash. It's a whitening face wash. Like that sort of thing. Like people recommending face washes or skincare because it whitens your skin. Whitening my skin doesn't mean it's cleaning my skin. It's literally just doing something to the melanin in my skin.
I'm done.
But then they claim to not have that colorist mindset in their head. Like they won't be like, oh, you're brown, so you're ugly. They'll just be like, oh, they'll apply it to themselves. Oh, I hate it. They'll apply it to themselves. They're like, oh, I like this face wash because it's whitening. But you're still pretty though, even though you're brown. Like that sort of thing. I hate that thought. Nobody will ever say it like that. But that thought process that it's not okay for you, yourself, to be white, to be darker skin. But like, clearly it's okay for other people to be darker skin. Exactly. Makes no sense to me because the reason why you want yourself to be fairer is coming from somewhere.
I had someone tell me, like a friend tell me that they wish they were more desirable, and I was like, oh, what do you mean? It's like, oh, I'm not light skinned enough, and they were teenage, and I was like, so I was like, so what? Am I not desirable? And they're like, no, but you're Indian though. You can't change that. Pause. Sorry, what? Because I was a kid, like I was in primary school, and I was like, okay, my bad, sorry. Like, why is it that because we're brown and we're born with it, that we just automatically become bottom of the attractiveness scale? What's up with that? What's the attractiveness scale in the first place? Oh.
And why is race involved?
What's the one race you would never date? Oh, is it in Singapore? I don't know.
But street interviews, it's usually Singapore. I don't know what to think about these kind of street interviews because on one hand, it's a matter of like types and preferences.
Yeah, I get that.
But at the same time, I think it's worth unpacking where that type and preference is coming from.
Yeah. Like, is it...
I really have mixed feelings about it because I really do respect if you have a preference for a certain race because that means you're more attracted to a certain type of look. And different races will have a different type of look. The problem arises when it's more about, oh, I would never date anybody who's this race. That's right. And you're implying that even if this person had the facial features that you wanted them to have, you would never date them solely because ethnically, biologically, they're Indian.
They're Indian.
It makes no sense. Like, even if like...
Anyways, guys, be nice to Indians. We make butter chicken. Okay, I'm not reducing our culture to chicken.
Okay. We make dosa too.
Yeah, we make dosa too. You know, we have chicken curry.
Oh my god, I love a good idli sambar.
I love it.
I actually don't like idli, I'm sorry. I like dosa more. I think to try to summarize, I think we have a distinct, obviously our take on Indian representation and the whole experience of being Indian is going to be very different from another person in Singapore. And even more different from people in India.
Of course.
And I think that whole divide of like being from somewhere where you're not growing up there, that obviously creates a bit of a dissonance. And then how we negotiate with that idea, like identity, is through representation in media, having conversations like this, talking to our relatives. And honestly, the process of trying to educate other people about our culture really like incentivizes me to engage with my own culture too. So that because I don't want to misrepresent my culture.
I don't want to say the wrong thing and then you're like, oh, this is what I'm going to take and I'm going to run with it.
Yeah. And I think that it's especially tricky for like coming from a place like India because again, it's so vast that I don't want people to take away what I say and apply that to the entirety of India.
Exactly.
And so I think that's why it's even more important to have conversations like these.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, I think as youths, it's really important that we engage with our culture. I feel like even though you might not reap the benefits now because, I don't know, you're not close to your grandparents or you don't visit your home country often, but imagine not being able to pass down that beauty of culture to your children or to the younger generation, to your sister's daughters, to your brother's sons. Like, I don't know. That will be so sad to see that just fade away in your family. Well, it's very sad to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it starts with you. So maybe you should like think on the inside. How do you resonate with your culture?
How can I be a cultural leader?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all for today?
Yeah, that's it.
This has been Let's Talk About It.
We'll see you guys next episode.
Bye.